I am Manikandan, Assistant Professor, Department of EEE, Arunachala College of Engineering for Women. Today, I am going to discuss about the introduction to magnetic circuit. First, I will explain the basic introduction. First one is the supply system. Mainly, there are two types of supply system. First one is the DC system, and second one is the AC system. So, what in by DC system means direct current, which is the one directional or unidirectional flow electric charge. So it has two terminals. One is indicated by positive, another one is the negative. The symbol is one straight line. It does not vary with respect to time. So it is indicated by one straight line. Second one is the AC system. AC means alternating current. So it varies sinusoidally with respect to time. So it is indicated by one sinusoidal symbol. The AC system is again divided into two types. One is the single phase AC, another one is the three phase AC. So single phase AC, the two terminals, one is phase and another one is the neutral. Simply it is denoted by P and N. The supply voltage may be 230 volt. So three phase AC means it consists of three phases R, Y and B, and another one is the neutral. So the three phase voltage is 415 volt. So from the three phase we can obtain the single phase. If we take the any one phase and the neutral means we get the single phase AC supply. So next second one is the voltage. So what is the definition for voltage? The potential difference between the two conductor. Its unit is volt. Third one is the current. So what in by current? The flow of electrons is called current. The unit is ampere. Next some types of electrical machines. First one is the DC machines. So what do you mean by DC machines? Electromechanical energy converters which work from the DC input. So it is classified into two types, DC generator, DC motor. So DC generator means it is a rotating machine which convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. So DC motor means it is also a rotating machine which convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Second one is the AC machines. So these are the electromechanical energy converters which work from the AC input or generate AC. So here first one is the transformer. So what is transformer? Is a static device which convert AC voltage from one level to another level without changing the frequency. It works on the principle of mutual induction. So there are two types of transformer, single phase transformer and three phase transformer. So single phase transformer operate in single phase supply, three phase transformer means it operate in three phase supply. So next induction machines. So there are two types, three phase induction motor and single phase induction motor. So induction motor also which convert the electrical energy into mechanical energy. Here it works on the principle of mutual induction. So it is called as induction motor. Synchronous machines. So these are the doubly excited machines. It is classified into two types, synchronous generator, synchronous motor. Synchronous generator is otherwise called as alternator. AC generators are called as alternator. So next synchronous motor. Third one is the special machines. So what do you mean special machines means? These machines are mainly designed for special applications. What are the special applications means? CD player, watches, washing machines, robotics, etc. So some example for the special machines are stepper motor, brushless DC motor, switched reluctance motor, permanent magnet, synchronous motor. So next first unit 1 we have to consider the magnetic circuits and magnetic materials. So first one is the magnetic circuits. Before going to the magnetic circuits, first let us consider the permanent magnets. So what in by permanent magnet, it can say north pole and south pole. If opposite poles are placed near together means they will attract. Same poles means repel each other. So consider the two electromagnets, north pole and south pole. So here some, if it is placed near to each other means some magnetic field lines will be produced. This total number of magnetic field lines are called as magnetic flux. So next consider the diagram. There is one square iron core. In the one limb of the iron core, it consists of one coil is wound, where n is equal to number of the coil. When the supply is given, the current I flow through the coil. When the current flow through the coil, it generates the magnetic field of lines, and this magnetic field of lines is called as magnetic flux pi. It follows the path ABCD. Here closed path followed by magnetic flux is called a magnetic circuit. The magnetic lines of force leave the north pole, pass through the entire circuit and return to the starting point. Magnetic circuit consists of materials having high permeability such as iron, soft steel, etc. Consider a coil of N turns wound on an iron core. When current is passed through the coil, magnetic flux is set up in the core. Some definitions. So first one is the magnetic flux. First already I have said, that is magnetic lines of force produced by a magnet is called as magnetic flux. That is the total number of magnetic lines which is called as magnetic flux. It is indicated by pi, unit is Weber. Second one is the magnetic flux density. That is magnetic flux density is the flux per unit area at right angles to the flux. It is denoted by B and its unit is Weber per meter square. Here B is equal to pi by A or Tesla. So third one is the magnetomotive force. So what in by magnetomotive force means the cause for producing the magnetic flux. So how the magnetic flux is induced means when the supply is given, the current flow through the coil. So the number of turns and the current which is taken as the magnetomotive force. So magnetomotive force is the cause for producing flux in the magnetic circuit. The product of N into I is called mmf. The unit is ampere turns. So next, reluctance. The opposition that the magnetic circuit offers to flux is called reluctance. So what in by resistance? It opposes the flow of current. Similarly here, in the flux there is reluctance. Reluctance which opposes the flow of flux. It is denoted by S and its unit is ampere turns per Weber. So reluctance is equal to mmf per flux, unit ampere turn per Weber. Fifth one is the permeance. So what in by permeance means it is the reciprocal of reluctance. Its unit is Weber per ampere turn. So permeance equal to 1 by reluctance. So next, magnetic field intensity. It is defined as the mmf per unit length of magnetic flux path. It is denoted by H and its unit is ampere turn per meter. H equal to N into I by L. That is mmf divided by length. Seventh one is the permeability. So permeability of a material is conductivity for magnetic flux. So if the permeability is greater means the conductivity also increases. Yeah. So here B is directly proportional to H. B is equal to mu into H. Mu is equal to B by H. So next, relative permeability. So relative permeability of a material is the ratio of flux density produced in that material to the flux density produced in the air by same magnetizing force. So next, let us see the types of magnetic circuit. Simple magnetic circuit, composite magnetic circuit and parallel magnetic circuit. Simple magnetic circuit. First one is the simple magnetic circuit means it consists of only one magnetic circuit. So consider a solenoid ring. A coil is wound over the ring. The number of turns in the winding is N. When the supply is given, the current I flow through the coil and the flux will be induced in the coil. It is indicated by a dotted line and pi. It is indicated by the symbol pi. So A, capital A is equal to cross sectional area in meter square and length L is the length. Here the magnetomotive force produced is equal to N into I. So magnetizing force inside the ring is H equal to N into I by L, ampere turns per meter. Again flux density B is equal to mu H. So here B is equal to, substitute the value of mu. Mu is equal to mu naught into mu r H. Mu naught constant value 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. So which is equal to mu naught mu r Ni by L. Equation number 1. So next flux density B is equal to pi by A. From this we can write pi is equal to B into A. So now substitute the value of B and A. We get mu naught mu r A Ni by L Weber. So pi is equal to Ni divided by, rearranging the term, L by mu naught mu r into A, which is equal to Ni divided by S. That is mmf per reluctance. Here S equal to L by mu naught mu r into A. So second one is the composite magnetic circuit. What do you mean by composite magnetic circuit means? It consists of two or more magnetic material with different dimensions. So series magnetic circuit has parts of different dimensions and materials is called composite magnetic circuit. Here consider here in the diagram A1 area A1, A2, A3. Corresponding length L1, L2, L3. In the air gap area AG, length LG. Okay. When the supply is given, current flow through the coil, number of turns in the winding N. When the current flow through the coil, the flux will be induced in the iron core. So each part has its own reluctance. Total reluctance equal to L1 by mu naught mu R1 A1 plus L2 by mu naught mu R2 A2 plus L3 by mu naught mu R3 A3 plus Lg by mu naught Ag. For air, mu r is equal to 1. So total flux equal to flux into total reluctance. Here take pi as common. In the next step, it is multiply the pi by each term. Finally, so flux density is equal to pi by A. So pi by A1 is equal to B1 by mu R1. Similarly, pi by mu R2 is equal to, pi by A2 is equal to B2, pi by A3 is equal to B3, pi by Ag is equal to Bg. So, which is equal to H1 into L1, B1 by mu naught mu R1, which is equal to H1 plus H2 into L2, H3 into L3 plus Hg Lg. So, ampere turns is equal to H into L. Third one is the parallel magnetic circuit. So parallel magnetic circuit means a magnetic circuit which has more than one path is called parallel magnetic circuit. Or if the magnetic circuit consists of one or more than one path means it is called as parallel magnetic circuit. Consider the diagram. There are two path AB, DE, another one is the BC, FE. So coil of N turns is wound on the limb. AD carries a current of I. The flux pi 1 set up by the coil divides at B into two parts. Flux pi 2 passes the path BE. Flux pi 3 passes the path BCFE. So S1 is equal to reluctance of path ABDE, S2 reluctance of path BE, S3 reluctance of path BCFE. So total MMF equal to MMF of path ABDE plus MMF for path BE or BCFE. So N into I is equal to pi 1 S1 plus pi 2 S2 equal to pi 1 S1 plus pi 3 S3. So next leakage flux. So the flux that does not follow the desired path is called a magnetic circuit is called leakage flux. Figure shows the iron ring wound with a coil and having a narrow gap. The total flux produced by the coil does not pass through the air gap. Some of it passes through the air gap, some of it through the coil, and some of it leaks through the air. These flux lines are called leakage flux pi L. So leakage flux pi L is equal to pi T minus pi G. Pi T is equal to total flux produced, pi G is equal to useful flux across the air gap. The useful flux passing across the air gap tend to bulge outwards, thereby increasing the FET area of the gap and reducing the flux density in the gap. The FET is known as fringing. So next, law of electromagnetic induction. There are mainly two laws. Faraday's law. What is Faraday's law? The induced EMF is directly proportional to time rate of change of flux linkages. Okay. Whenever the magnetic flux linking a conductor changes, an EMF is induced in it. The magnitude of induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. That is E is equal to N into d pi by dt. So next, Lenz's law. The law states that any induced EMF will circulate a current in such a direction so as to oppose the cause producing it. What in way cause means the induced EMF oppose the supply voltage. So it is indicated by E is equal to minus oppose N d pi by dt. So the diagram which indicates how the EMF is magnetic circuit. There is one permanent magnet, north pole, south pole. Another one is the coil. There is one core C. A coil is wound over this core. The two terminal of the coil, one galvanometer is connected. So when the permanent magnet moves towards the coil means an EMF will be induced. So the galvanometer shows that is deflect in one direction. So when the permanent magnet moves away from the coil means, so the EMF will be induced, but the galvanometer deflection will be in the opposite direction. When the movement of permanent magnet is stopped, there is no EMF induced in the coil. So this is the basic principle of EMF induced in the coil. Thank you.